Financial planning is so much like the voyage of a seaman. Ask a seaman, how does he go about with his voyage? First of all, he decides where he wants to go. There is a direction, there is a goal to what he wants to do. Now he's right here, he wants to go to the other side. He needs a ship which will take him out there. Taking that same analogy forward, the ship is you when it comes to financial planning. You are here, you want to go to the other direction, and how you would go about doing it becomes important. And that's why we need to learn from the seaman. What a seaman does before his voyage is, once he's frozen on the direction, then he says, okay, here is where I want to go. Now what are the various routes through which I can go there? Each route would have a particular implication in terms of how choppy the sea would be, what would be the climate, etc. And accordingly, he would decide the timing in terms of when he would like to set off on that voyage. Then he would need to ensure that the ship itself is sturdy enough for the kind of voyage, for the kind of seas that it would be going in for. And then he would ensure that the ship itself has got all the provisions, all the fuel, everything which is required to sustain itself for the journey. That's how, when it gets on to your own financial planning, you need to look at first how you yourself are engineered. Secondly, you need to have a look at what is the climate, what is the environment, what is happening to the markets, etc. And finally, what is the goal, where do you want to go? So these are the three things which I would broadly call as a strategic agenda for your voyage of financial planning. Who are you? What is the kind of climate, sea, etc. you are going to encounter, and where do you want to go? That strategic agenda having been frozen, then one gets on to a learning agenda, that if one needs to conduct this voyage, if one needs to complete this voyage successfully, then what are the various learning points one needs? And finally, while one is onto that voyage, one needs to keep finding out whether one is in the right direction, whether one is going properly in terms of the timing, what is it that one might encounter further down in terms of adverse climate and things like that. So similarly, we need to keep track of the markets to know what is happening. So as part of an operational agenda, one keeps track in terms of where one is going and in terms of what is also happening in the environment, markets, etc. So this whole voyage, there will be a strategic agenda, there will be a learning agenda, and finally there will be an operating agenda.